Hey, ladies, welcome back to Confident and Thriving podcast. So, today we are going to be talking about that, oops, something that I think is hopefully going to motivate you to begin taking up space, to begin being bold and audacious. And that is the joy that comes when you stop hiding and you start being seen. And what I mean by being seen, I mean like being seen as who you want to be, owning your desires of the things that you want to do. So, doing the things that you want to do and owning what you desire to have. A lot of times we hide those things, like we hide who we want to be, we hide what we want to do, we hide what we want to have. And that really keeps us in a feeling of unfulfillment. It keeps us really stuck on low confidence um, because we're thinking about all the all the things that can come when we start showing up and we start really stop hiding, right? And the things that most common people think of, we all do it sometimes. That is like, okay, if I decide to show and express myself as who I want to be, then there's a possibility of rejection, right? There's a possibility of judgment and embarrassment. And I think rejection is probably like one of the biggest things that come with that, is because we all have this craving to belong and to be accepted. It's just human nature. It's who we are since we were created, and so there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. However, that that fear of maybe rejection and being excluded and not belonging, as you express who you want to be, how you want to show up, can really keep us stuck and really keep us in a negative space of just not taking bold action, not stepping into confidence and things like that. And then also for like what you want to do, right? Owning the things that you want to do, it comes, we think about the fear of embarrassment, the fear of judgment, the fear of failing, which is, a huge thing. A lot of times we fear failure because failure it can really bring up feelings of, if something is wrong with us, feelings of not being good enough, just so many things that failure can bring grief. It can bring a lot of different things. And also not owning, hiding the things that we want to have, right? So what I've noticed that when we hide the desires of our heart, when we hide the things that we want to have, it is due to a feeling of maybe not feeling worthy, or just not feeling that who we are, can actually receive that. Not feeling like we are in this like scarcity mindset of not feeling like that is available to us, is only available to certain people. And whether that is like, having a successful business, having money, having a healthy relationship, whatever it is that you truly want to have, you may not say it, you may not speak up for it, you may not go after it or own it, simply because of a feeling of not enoughness, a feeling of not enoughness within you, but also not enoughness in the world, right? That not you're simply just not being aware of the abundance that is available to you, right? And so we think about all of these things, all of these, cons and, things that could come with owning who we want to be, owning what we want to do, owning what we want to have. But we really miss out on something that is so valuable. And that something is something that I've learned throughout the years of each time I own who I want to be, do what I want to do, and have what I want to have. And for so many other people, when they begin to own that parts of themselves, and that is the joy, the joy of owning you. The joy of owning who you want to be, it is one of the best feelings in the world. And owning what you want to do, owning what you want to have. The reason why I said is say is like one of the best feelings in the world is simply because there's freedom that comes with that, right? And freedom is one of like freedom is joy. Freedom brings joy, right? Because when we are not free, when we are not free internally, um, then we feel restricted, we feel resentment, we feel, unforgiveness, we feel shame, we feel all of these things, right? And when we're not free externally, then we feel again restricted, we feel trapped, and we feel caged in. We really feel confined. And freedom to start owning who you want to be and doing the things that you want to do and having that and deciding that you are going to stop hiding behind these things brings so much joy. And so I'm going to share with you the top things that I noticed just from my own personal experience, and then also watching other women who've taken up space, who've decided to own who they want to be, who decided to do the things that they want to do, and really go after the things that they want to have. These are some of the top things that I noticed that amplifies that joy. So one thing that I've noticed that truly amplifies that feeling of joy when you stop hiding behind yourself is the is peace of mind. Peace of mind comes when you really stop negotiating with yourself, right? And what I mean by negotiating is thinking, okay, can I be her? Can I not be her? Can I do this? Can I not do this? What if I do this? What if I don't do this? Can I have this? Can I not have this? It creates like one, you're stuck in like indecision, and that causes so much emotional disturbance, right? It's because it's friction. You're not making a decision. There's friction, there's turmoil all up inside of you because you're stuck in this back and forth of, you know, between the person that you truly desire to be and the things that you truly desire to do and have and the version of who you are being, what you are experiencing right now, right? Because in order to get to that next level, you have to choose to become a different person, literally, to experience certain things. You have to choose to do certain things to get there. But you're battling between the two stages of where you want to be in your life, who you want to be in your life, and that back and forth is a headache. That back and forth is a headache, and it doesn't give you peace of mind. Versus you get peace of mind when you make a decision, right? That's like as easy as when you're thinking about, I'm gonna charge this, when you're thinking about like, what do you wanna eat, right? Sometimes it's like deciding what you wanna eat can sometimes feel like a stressful experience, right? You may not feel it, but I know sometimes I do, the frustration of like, I don't know what I want to eat because it's back and forth. It's causing our brain to do so much work trying to figure out what we want to do. When you make a decision and you decide to choose, like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be this, I'm going to have this, then there's no more battle. You're clear, you're going, you know exactly where you're going, right? And joy comes with that because you're freeing up internally a battlefield that is happening in your mind. And so this doesn't mean, when I say like peace of mind, this doesn't mean that um, making the decision takes away challenges, because it doesn't. This doesn't mean that making the decision to do something takes away like setbacks or the possibilities of failure or rejection. Those things are still likely to happen, right? Simply because when you are showing up, when you stop hiding and owning who you want to be, like when you have that intention, with intention comes disruption. That's just what it is. It is going to happen because it has to stretch you. Because if it was super easy, then everybody will be who they want to be. Everybody will be doing exactly what they want to do and experiencing everything that they want to have, right? However, those setbacks, all of those things that happen is what's going to help you elevate even more faster. However, what I want to say is that there is a difference between the challenge is that comes through movement and the challenges that comes through self-abandonment, right? And so challenges are going to happen when you begin to move, and we want those challenges. Remember, like I said, we want those challenges because they grow us, they stretch us, they unlock potential, they unlock opportunity. But that challenge, that emotional disturbance that you are going through is due to self abandonment. When you are hiding, when you are like literally hiding who you want to be, what you want to do, what you want to have, you're absolutely like self abandoning yourself. And that alone does not create peace of mind. All right. Like we want to own ourselves, not abandon ourselves. Okay. So the second thing that I noticed when I stopped hiding, like who I want to be and things I want to do, is that you make yourself proud. So when you begin to just own it, stop hiding, right? This alone puts you on a high. It is like almost intoxicating. I can remember like when I first started creating content and I started being really intentional about it and sharing, confidence and things like that. And then when I was like releasing my podcast, and then I decided that I'm going to be a coach, and it was just like so much was happening all at once. I was on this crazy high, and that high was coming because I felt so proud of myself, so proud of myself, because something that I've been wanting to do for years, like just show up online, share my voice. I didn't know necessarily that I wanted to talk about confidence, but I always knew that I wanted to help women with something. I didn't know that it was exactly this. But when I decided to do it, oh my gosh, I was on this crazy high. It was just like who unlocked this girl, right? Like I stopped caring like what people like I stopped caring about the fear of being embarrassed, um, of judgment, like all those things that kept me from taking up space for so many years started to just plummet. I stopped caring. And that made me so, so proud of myself. And that is something that I know most of us want, right? Like we truly want to feel proud of ourselves. We want to like show ourselves that we are exactly who we say we are. That we are like we're doing exactly what we said we're going to do, right? And because when we don't do these things, it's showing us that we are not, that we did not, and so we can have not, right? So it's again like when you are not in movement of like doing the things that you want to do, not owning who you want to be and hiding, it is literally like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Even if you're not saying it, like your results are showing you that you are not. And so doing it, you start taking up space wherever it is that you want to do, right? You start owning, like you start speaking up, you start dressing how you want to dress, you start owning your body how you want to own your body. You start being confident and transforming your self image, reinventing yourself, changing careers and starting your business, starting your passion project, changing you know relationships, getting into different community, like all of these things, you feel so proud of yourself. It's like you unlock potential, one that you didn't even know was there. Like you may be thinking like, "Oh, I can do this." But you don't know it until you do it. Like you can know it, but until you really experience it, you feel like you just don't know it yet, right? And so when you're doing these things, you unlock potential. Like there's so much that makes you proud. Let me read it because I wrote this down. You unlock potential. You realize what you're capable of. Like I just said, like you realize what you're capable of. A lot of times you don't know what you're capable of until you actually just do, and then you're just like, oh my gosh, I didn't know I can do that. Like I would have never thought in a million years I can come on like line and talk about confidence and talk about goal achievement and making bold moves and taking up space and doing all these things because I used to be so freaking shy. Like did not want to be seen whatsoever. And so like you realize it's capable. Like you realize like your potential and what you're capable of. Also, you start seeing yourself differently, right? You start rebuilding self trust. And I say rebuilding because you already have confidence within you. It's just been broken down a little bit, right? It's just been trampled on a little bit throughout the years. But it helps you rebuild that self trust because you're so proud of yourself. You start seeing yourself like you start identifying as someone who is bold. You start identifying as someone who is audacious and someone who is a go-getter or ambitious. You just feel like you have this huge identity shift where you no longer look at yourself as as someone who doesn't do what they say they're going to do, as someone who doesn't stick to their goals. No, you start, when you do these things, you make yourself proud. Like that is it's reaffirming the belief that you want to truly have about yourself, the identity that you want to have about yourself. And let me tell you, when you feel so proud of yourself, you feel more attractive, you're more lit up, you're more turned on, which alone is like, it just makes you more attractive, it makes you more magnetic. Like, if you're in a relationship, like your partner will see it, your family will see it, like people will be able to feel your energy because of how proud of yourself you are. And that alone to me is like golden because we all want to be proud of ourselves. Okay, so the next thing that I realized that really amplifies that joy is being like rewarded. And what I mean by rewarded, yes, externally things, right? So being rewarded by like opportunities. When you stop hiding and you start owning who you want to be and owning what you want to do and what you want to have, and you're taking action towards these things, right? And you're claiming it. Like when you're able to claim something, let me tell you, like things come to you faster. Things come to you faster. Opportunities come to you faster. Doors open up to you faster because you're owning it. You're claiming it. You're done hiding. Because you're saying you want it, you now start seeing things like that's available to you. And so you start being rewarded with recognition. Wanting, again, most of us want to feel seen. We want to feel, of course, like we want to validate our own selves beyond any external validation. Let me just say that. However, being recognized for you, like, stop hiding, is so, like, is amazing, right? Like, if your family members can point out to you, like, wow, like, you're completely, like, different, right? You're unrecognizable. Like, I can't believe that you did this, right? I don't know, like how many people told me, like my siblings, like you inspire me, right? My ex, you inspire me. You literally like blow my mind because of like how bold you are, how courageous you are, how many times like you don't give up on yourself. Like you blow my mind. These are things that bring so much joy because even though you can see it, like sometimes you still want like the people who matter to you most to be able to see the changes in you, the um, the audacity in you, like, and start transforming how they've seen you previously to how you want to be seen, right? And that is when you start owning like what you want to do, when you want to have, and even being. It is amazing when you can start transforming and becoming a brand new person. And people, they might not see it right away, but when they see it and you get recognized for it, you're like, wow, like I really did that. I'm dope. I'm amazing. Like, how awesome is that? And so again, like that is another thing. Yes, that's a little bit more of like the external validation, but like those things also reaffirm all the inner work, all of the work that we did at the end of the day. Those things are still important. I never want to say that that's not important. But we just don't want to replace that. We don't want to replace um, how we validate ourselves, like with that external validation. But those things are important. Being rewarded and recognition, right? Not just by family, but again, like people who do things, who take a space, being recognized, like even as simple as like when my podcast hit like 10,000 10,000 downloads to 20,000 downloads, like it sends me an alert to recognize me and show like you made this, like you got this many downloads, like this is how many people have been impacted. This is how many people listen to your voice, listen to the things you had to say. It's as simple as like that. And it's just a platform that is highlighting me, like recognizing the work that I did. And this can also be like recognition, like if you want to be online, recognition with community, audience who lets you know like what you are doing has either like changed my life, is helping me, benefiting me. Like it's so much joy that comes when you begin to start taking up space how you want to be and doing what you want to do. Like so much joy that comes with that. So it's such a reward to be rewarded for that. And sometimes it's just simply through words from others. I love when people say like, "Oh my gosh, like I love your podcast." Like to me that's rewarding because you get recognized for you taking up space, for you owning like who you want to be. And again, and like I said, those opportunities open up, right? Like just to give you an example, when I started taking up space, when I started sharing my content, like there was like speaking opportunities like that came easy to me. Like I barely had to ask for these speaking opportunities. Like they reached out to me. It was just like, oh my God, even though I reached out to some, like the ones that I really like did, they reached out to me because I stopped hiding. Like, hello, like what do you want? That like that brings so much excitement, so much joy. Like it is such a turn on, it's such a thrill to really start owning who you want to be. And it's going to be like at different levels too, right? Different levels because you're going to keep changing, you're going to keep growing. And back to that internal freedom of what I was speaking about, how this is one of the things that truly amplifies that joy. And that is due to you begin living more authentic and more truthfully. And because of that, you start feeling more connected to yourself. I don't know about you, or I can just imagine because I've been there where I felt so disconnected from myself, so disconnected, like not knowing, my purpose, wondering like why am I here, you know, just feeling so completely just like disconnected, like who am I, right? And so once I started to like own parts of me that like I just want to be me. These things allow you to show up more authentically and more truthfully, and it connects you back to yourself. And that is freedom. That is like a woman who the woman who is most magnetic, who is most attractive, who is most joyful, who is the most bold, in my opinion, is a woman who is truly free. She feels free internally, that internal freedom. And when you own who you want to be and what you want to do, you are going closer to being the more authentic version of you. And again, this comes in different levels. It's not all going to happen at the same time, but you keep unlocking more authentic version of you and a more authentic version of you, like the shadow versions of you, right? You keep, like, when you unlock and you own one desire, another desire unlocks that you didn't even know was there, or maybe it was suppressed, and then you keep unlocking more, right? And so this is how things work. But you begin to come back to self. You begin to feel connected to yourself. And to me, that is so much joy that comes with that. And because when we are not ourselves, we feel it, right? When we are not ourselves, it's like, again, that self abandonment. Like it keeps us in a state of like we're not good enough, versus when you can own it and you can actually prove to yourself that it's okay for you to be authentic, it's okay for you to own what you want and live truthfully, and that you're going to be safe and that is okay, then that's when joy happens. That's, I mean, of course, joy is something that, we want daily, like to breathe, to live. Like we all should be joyful for like the little things like that, big things, especially when it comes to breath in our lungs, right? Um, However, these things amplify, you know, amplifies like that joy that you already have. It's just you amplifying it by you starting to own you, own what you want, own like what you want to have, own what you want to do, own who you want to be. It amplifies that through these things, and these are the things that I've noticed. And I truly think like you can absolutely experience this when you begin to, just do it, just own it and stop hiding. Stop hiding, because there's so many people, like if you want to own a business, like whatever it is that you want to do, there's so many people who is waiting for you to just be you. You are waiting for you to be you. But to level that up even more, like there's so much people who is waiting for you to be you and for you to do what you want to do, so that you can just even impact them. And that alone creates that movement. It activates audacity. It activates that confidence, that high self image alone is you just stop hiding and allow that to amplify the joy through to all of this. So remember, like, again, it makes you proud of yourself. It gives you peace of mind. Like, there's nothing like peace of mind is everything. It gives you peace of mind, right? It unlocks your potential. You get rewarded for it, for you showing up. You get rewarded and you connect back to yourself, right? Like, your identity shifts. You see yourself differently. You connect back to yourself because you're owning yourself truthfully. And so I want you guys to start looking at the benefits that come when you stop hiding versus like the fears of like the cons of the things that come when you stop hiding, because those things will happen. But like when we want to weigh our options, right, what do we want to experience the most? We want to experience joy. We want to be proud of ourselves. We want to unlock our potential. We want to feel peace of mind. We want to stop living in that state of like, what if, or like, am I ever going to accomplish this? Am I ever like, is this all it is? When you truly know, like, no, there isn't, right? Like that feeling of like, this can't be it. Like, this is not all life is for me, right? Like, it's really not. But in order for you to experience that, like, you want to stop hiding so that you can. All right. And so now I want to go ahead and invite you to my offer. So I have two offers that I'm going to invite you to today. My first offer, it is a Bold Moves coaching offer. So it is a one-on-one program that is for 7 weeks. What this means for you is that you will be making bold moves towards like your dreams, your desires, your goals. And the real value with that one is that you are going to be owning what you want way faster, right? So, confidence boost, you achieve your goals faster, you're done waiting, right? You're making yourself proud of yourself, you're giving yourself that peace of mind, all of the things that we talked about. And you have me 101, where I get to support you, hold you accountable, and guide you and be with you along the way as you make these bold moves. Because, yes, they are scary, and it's so much better when you have someone right there in your corner. But there's so much can happen when you begin making bold moves. And so, for that offer, I'm going to go ahead and leave the link in the description box so you can go ahead and grab that. And so, my second offer is if your bold move is you wanting to take up space online with your voice and be seen. So, this offer is called Voltage Visibility. It is a 6 week one on one offer where you get to launch yourself like wildfire, right? We are not wasting time. So, what this means for you is that you will be launching yourself online, creating your impact for the people that you want to create an impact for, and then creating your pathway to profit from your impact. And the real value with that is that you connect back to yourself and you start making purpose driven movements where you start discovering your purpose, you start living in what you feel like your calling is, and helping people in a space that you want to help. And to me, like, that impact is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. And so, if you feel called to start sharing your voice and help other people in a space that you know that you can help in, then I want to welcome you to Voltage Visibility. You'll be gaining confidence in your messaging, your value, your skill set, your voice. You'll be confident in your pathway to profit from your impact. You will gain confidence in your public speaking skills in real time. And these are just a few things that we are going to go over in Voltage Visibility. And so, again, this is your fast track to being seen online, making your mark, leaving your impact, and profiting from that impact. And so, if you feel called to take advantage of that bold move offer, then I'm going to go ahead and leave the link in the description box for that as well. If you have any questions, always you can email me through the link. And that is it for today, ladies. I hope this inspired you to look at the positive of, taking up space and being you and owning what you want to do and stuff versus the scary parts of it. Like, let's outweigh the options here. All right. And so that is it for today's episode, ladies. I will see you in the next video. Bye.